What's poppin', y'all? One of the most exciting new things in hip hop is airing. At least one of the most exciting things for me, which means that it better be exciting for you too, okay? And it is Lyrical Lemonade's new show.
Welcome to Call It a Day with Sarah Kate.
Welcome to Chloe Schmitz. I'm walking here. I'm walking here. Let's break it.
Well, well, well. That's what you get when you sit in my chair. Oh, this is my favorite show.
So once I saw this, I was like, man, this is dope, because I've liked a lot of the things that Lyrical Lemonade has been able to do. Now, some people will say like, oh yeah, the golden age, like YouTube music videos. Well, you're constantly still seeing Lyrical Lemonade go viral on your page, at least on a monthly basis. Not viral. You're seeing them on your page if you're interested in hip hop whatsoever. They just made the format more towards lunch break freestyles, which are killing it. It's a very good job by them. But this is supposed to be airing new shows every week, and Andy Milonakis might be starring in it. I would love to see Andy Milonakis in it. Now, just judging from the fact that Andy Milonakis was hired for this, it goes to show the type of vibe that Cole Bennett is going for. Number one, Andy Milonakis is age appropriate for Cole Bennett. So he's not just doing this for the kids of this generation, because a lot of them probably don't even know Andy Milonakis. At best, they may know Andy Milonakis via IRL streaming, but for the most part, they've probably never heard of him. However, you could tell that it's for him and for people that maybe grew up in a similar age bracket to him, because they would have watched that show. Or it's just an Easter egg and he just wanted him involved in it. Now, Cole Bennett would respond after this comes out, and he would use Wizard, Kid Cudi. I think that's one of his favorite artists too. And he would say, Lyrical Lemonade TV is an all-in-one network, comparable to a modern-day MTV. New shows rolling out throughout the rest of the year. New episodes every week. Kicking off next week, all on the Lyrical Lemonade TV YouTube channel. Interviews, food shows, music shows, travel shows, sports shows. Blessed to have been able to build this with the most amazing team imaginable. Also, how beautiful is the sunset? I mean, you did not have to flex on us like that. We're out here looking at these four walls, and he's out here in a beautiful sunset. Hey, I guess that's what happens when you earn it. So what I did is a little bit of digging to take some screen captures of what was going on in the channel selection, and I've come up with a couple of different shows that it could be. Now, keep in mind, one of these shows he said was going to be a sports show potentially. So one of the shows is NYN, as you can see, and it says New York Nights. Part talk show, part fever dream. Father Steve and Pizza host celebrities for pasta, wine, and chaos in a candlelit Italian restaurant where anything can happen and nothing is off limits. So Lucas Sabat, who's a good friend, or at least they came up together with Pizza, he's going to be involved in this. I think this is cool because you're getting a cultural experience too. Like, Pizza's in New York, a guy. He came up in New York. I think he lives in New York. He has a studio in New York. He was live streaming him making all of his products in New York. And Italian restaurant in New York, dinner, you're having all these people. It perfectly encapsulates that culture. CHLO, or Chloe explains, and here it says, the internet is a lot. Chloe gets it. Breaking down the internet's wildest trends, types, and moments so you don't have to figure them out alone. And then there's Thirst Trap and Group Leader as episodes. So we'll likely be covering broader topics or terms that dominate internet conversations. I don't know why I put we in the tweet. Like they don't know you, little bro. Listen, but this seems to be like covering a meme. If for those of you that may be unfamiliar, Group Leader was, so Thirst Trap, you probably already know. It's like when somebody posts something that is intended to get a lustful reaction. or a lustful outcome. Group leader is this meme that originated, I don't know if it was on X, but some girl was like, oh, when you find out that your boyfriend isn't like the group leader or isn't the friend group leader. And this led to a big argument between both genders where guys are like, wait, what are you talking about group leader? Like, no guy thinks like that. Like, I'm the group leader of our friend group. And they started talking about like, oh, that's because girls all have a group leader and one that makes sure they handle everything. So they're just putting that on guys. And then this just became like a back and forth conversation, similar to the $200 dates, which had been a recurring conversation on X for many years. And it seems like it's faded away now because inflation has just hit it so hard post 2020 that $200 dates sounds standard to people. They're like, oh, okay. So they might have to jump that up to $400. So this will be interesting. BTS is behind the scenes. I think they already do something like that on the Lyrical Lemonade channel. So this will likely be for the music videos, possibly even behind the scenes of these shows that are airing as well. And the most recent Slayer music video for Eyesight is an episode that's on there. So it may be for these shows, but we know that it's going to be for music videos at the very least. MASH, that I don't know. Slayer is an episode. This might be the food show because the New York Nights one, while they are eating pasta, wine, and all that in a restaurant, I don't think it's a food show because it wouldn't keep happening in the same restaurant. It would be eating different foods. So MASH, I'm just guessing it might be food, but this artist Slayer is in one of the episodes. Slayer is one of these newer acts. I don't know if he's from Atlanta, but I just know that I associate him with that Atlanta scene. I haven't listened to enough of his music, but just seeing him get mentioned here twice is enough for me to want to check him out now. Then there's CIAD, which is Call It a Day. And after the workday ends, Sarah, and like that part was a little bit blurry when I was trying to capture it. Today's most pop musicians and culture staging creatives join a blue sanctuary for conversations that reveal who they are behind the spotlight. So Slayer and Feed are 2 episodes. I don't know who Feed is. He might be a creative figure that might be behind the camera or doing other stuff. Oh no, actually he's a Colombian singer. So that's very interesting. So this might be cross-cultural, which is very cool. And then we've got travel. So the first episode is supposed to be with Lil B in Thailand, and that's where, if you guys remember, a couple of months ago, Lil B was posting videos in India and him just traveling around. I recovered those photos and I put it up on X. I was like, yo, this might be another episode of this same show. Because if he's in India, that's in South Asia. Thailand is in Southeast Asia. That's one of the episodes. And this show is hosted by Sean K. It's confirmed on his Instagram. I think Sean K all day, where you can see him having recorded content himself previously. I think the content that did really good was him in Nepal. It did like over 100,000 views, and he has been involved in music, so it makes sense why they would put these two worlds together. I think that's very interesting. I do think that somebody that would be a great subject for this episode is Hobson, because Hobson he's loved Australia. I think he had a wife or maybe a girlfriend or a baby mama out in Australia. He's from LA. He also lived in Thailand for quite a while before it was very, very popular. So he's somebody that's done a lot of traveling around the world, and maybe they just want like fresh experiences, but I think he's somebody that could be brought in to do an episode alongside maybe somebody that's traveling to these places for the first time too. And he's a great character on camera too. And then LBF, I'm not sure what this is. Maybe it's like Let's Be Friends, because there's like a lot of beef in Chicago, but I don't think that's what it is. But all of these are Chicago rappers, like MAF T-Ski, Baby Chief Do It, and G Herbo are all episodes. Chicago is where Lyrical Lemonade was born. He grew up right outside of Chicago and like the suburbs of nowhere. And I mean, we're talking Famous Dex, we're talking all these Chicago rappers he grew up on and was involved in early on in his career. So I'm guessing it's gotta be focused on Chicago strictly. And there's also a You Don't Know Shy text in the trailer. I don't know if that's a different show or a segment of this show, but it doesn't match the abbreviation here. And then of course, Lunch Break Freestyle. And another reason why I think this is super cool is because of a recent interview that I don't know if he like officially manages him or he managed him at some point, but they have some sort of business relationship. That is Stat Quo, who was very cool with Eminem, was signed to Dre for a while and managed Lil Xan. He did an interview with Adam 22 when he talks about Cole Bennett in the interview, and he talks about how much Cole Bennett doesn't care about money.
I will never forget this, and I was very upset. We had a meeting with some very big people, and they offered a lot of money. They flew in on private planes. And I remember Cole was like, I just don't feel comfortable with doing it. And I was driving him back to his Airbnb. Well, I wasn't driving him. Shout out to my driver, man. He was riding back to the Airbnb. And he looked at me. He could tell I was a little kind of salty about not taking that money. He said, Stat, man, if this don't work out, man, I'll get me a bike, give me some Birkenstocks. I'll just live on the beach, man.
That's what Cole said?
He said, man, don't worry about this, man.
You might need that money they were offering you to live on the beach out here, though.
No, but I'm just, when he told me that,
yeah,
it just gave me a different perspective. It's not about money with him.
He never really seemed super motivated to become the crazy rich guy. Yeah, no, and even now, like I don't really know what he's actually doing to make money at this point.
Denny's. I remember we was at Denny's and he told me he purposely at one time would keep like the lowest amount of money in his bank account.
Really?
Just so he didn't feel like, just so he could still feel that pressure. Even though he had all the money in the world, you know what I'm saying? But he would do that so he could feel that pressure. It pushed him and drove him to keep going so he wouldn't get comfortable. And he was never driven by money, man.
Yeah.
And so when you say he stopped, he could have rolled that video out. He could have took that money. But it's about, he got to be passionate about something. He's always stressed impact. It's all about impact. And like, you got to respect it because he never sold out nothing. Nothing, dog. You know, that Lyrical Lemonade Festival is one of the only independent festivals. You know the big guys have come in and offered him a bag by now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know that they've, you know, shout out to Birdo, Jake, all the people that work on the festival and him, and they still maintaining it and keeping it where they're pretty much independent and paying for everything themselves. You know how expensive it is to have these artists show up?
So we've previously already seen Cole Bennett turn down a reported $30 million for people to buy into or buy Lyrical Lemonade, and he had rejected it. We got that confirmed. But here he's talking about how little he cared about the money and how he would intentionally keep his bank balance low. So one thing that we know for certain from Stat Quo here is that Cole Bennett's not just going to throw something out there because it's a money-making opportunity. If anything, this is probably a money-losing opportunity. But he just wants to put it out there. Now, for me personally, I think it's great, but I think there's got to be some sort of a 24/7 rerun sort of thing, like MTV kind of. Like I remember when I was I was cool with somebody and that individual would always be playing MTV ridiculousness, and he talked about MTV, and I think this is going to be like a newer form of MTV if it's adopted in the right way, where MTV's ridiculousness, or was ridiculousness on MTV? I think so. That's how you know I didn't even watch ridiculousness like that unless I was with this individual, but I believe it was on MTV, and they would just leave it on TV in the background running constantly. So that's like a 24/7 stream. So I think it's got to be operating 24/7. Obviously the episodes aren't going to come out in that order, but if each episode is coming out and then they're looping constantly a different show on the channel, I think that's good content in line with streamers as well, because streamers are subject to watch this. Streamers need to be involved in something like this, whether it has to be reacting to it. And Cole Bennett has such a strong respect level with these guys that are all streaming. All of these guys that stream right now, whether they came from Fortnite, whether they came from IRL content, whatever it is, they came up watching, listening to, and being fans of artists that made their mark on Cole Bennett's Lyrical Lemonade channel, whether it be Juice WRLD for sure, well, hell, even Eminem and Juice WRLD, whether it be, hell, what's the guy's name? I can't believe his name is escaping me right now. Lil Skies, Lil Pump, they grew up on all of these guys. So they're already inclined, because they know the brand, they're familiar with the brand, to check this stuff out. And streamers always need something to react to. So them reacting to this getting clipped, I think it's the perfect time for something like this to come out. And if they're ever bored and have nothing to do, there's a 24/7 stream constantly running. I do think the 24/7 replay is one of the most important parts of this, if that's something they had in their plans. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said on X, the last time we've seen something that's cool like this being put out was the AUG DVDs of AUG Volume 2, which was like 8 years ago, damn near. And that's something that was put together for the love. It didn't make any money. It lost a ton of money. Like the AUG website, A$AP Rocky tried to do the AUG forum, but I think it just came at the late time and it just didn't really stick like that. Like the other forums that were successful in the early 2010s were still hanging on by a thread, and people weren't going to leave them to become users on a new forum. for him. So I think his heart was in the right place, but it just didn't pan out the right way with that AUG site. Now, when it came down to the DVD, I think that was such an amazing cultural mark that was made in the late 2010s. It's something that was purely for the love of like passion, art, and culture, and we get so many different people, not even within AUG. Like you got Ski Mask freestyling, you got Uzi appearances, and it's a piece of media that was a gift really from A$AP Rocky. And I think this is in similar vein something that Cole Bennett is doing as damn near like a gift to the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Will you be tuning into it? You better be tuning into it. Come on, like what else that's cool is being produced and coming out that isn't just some sort of there is no cash grab. Like there's not money in this industry anymore. So people can't even make something cool for it to be a cash grab. It's a Sahara desert out here, and we are looking for some sort of a mirage. Well, hopefully it's not a mirage. We're looking for some sort of well or oasis that we can find. But hey, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next one.